Welcome back to the Soul Food Podcast. I'm Michael Vakelic.
And I'm Shannon Meyer. Together we share insights and conversations to help you cultivate joy, peace, and prosperity while unlocking your limitless potential.
Yes, get ready for a transformative journey filled with laughter, strategies, and lively discussions that will inspire you to thrive in every area of your life. So here we are, still laughing. Hooray!
Now having fun, enjoying life, the ups and downs.
Of course, ups and downs and everything in between.
Yes, the beauty, that's the beauty of life.
Right.
The growing.
It
The
is.
growing.
And it's so important to see it that way, right? Because that's not how I was raised. Okay, I was raised to be serious and get everything done, and every time I was out having fun, there was trouble around the corner. It's like, whoa, look out. So, I learned to take life way too seriously. Okay. And I've just had quite a week. And do you mind if I share with
I love
everybody?
it. I love it because for everyone to know, since something we do here in our Soul Food podcast is really to have a conversation, enjoy our conversations, and nothing is prepared. It comes from the heart and from above, from channel or whatever it is. And we haven't prepared, we haven't spoken before, so it's really very nice to be here. Also for me, live, enjoying this conversation and the story you will be sharing. And I appreciate this sharing. Thank you so
And I
much.
hope I'm sure there's a lot of people who can relate to this.
Mm-hmm.
I've been guided, almost pushed
Mm-hmm.
into the
Happens.
it isn't ending
Yeah, it happens.
into the shifting my business. Okay, shifting my business toward helping people who have recurring challenges. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
recurring states of mind, and a state of mind is a thought, a belief, and an emotion. Okay, and that state of mind is what's bringing things into your life. Okay, you're the creator, the shaper
Yes.
of your life, the shaper of your experience, the shaper of your reaction. Okay, so or non-reaction wants to
Mm-hmm.
evolve. So here I am this week. I've decided to make some changes in the business. Okay. I've been working with a large company that's um, to host my online program and some of the other things, my emails, this is how I interact with my clients.
Yeah.
Well, the company's been less and less responsive, and here I am. Okay, I'm making these changes, and I want to start moving toward instead of uh, I started with manifesting. I started with, hey, it's exciting to be who we are. It's brilliant, and I'm moving more toward
Yes.
helping people heal from the challenging aspects of childhood that still haunt them throughout
Mm-hmm.
their life. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is really important, and it's been an amazing journey for me.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
um, so here I am making the switch to another company that I feel is more responsive. They're more interactive. I can get on a Zoom call with someone. They can work out a problem with me. Wow, hey, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to this point, and then I realize this new company has so many aspects of ways, or okay, they have so many different venues and so many different ways to help a business. It's way beyond my technical ability.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I gotta hire someone if I'm going to make this switch. So, all process of change. I reach out to a couple of people. One person wants $2,000, another person wants 2,500. I'm like, no, I can't, I'm not going to do that just to transfer my online programs and, get the things going. I mean, I could learn a little slower and take it easy. Maybe we could take this in steps. And so I finally find someone who is a little bit less, but I decide, okay, I'm going to have to put this off because
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of expense involved
Mm-hmm.
in the whole thing. Just paying that one person is not the only expense. Okay. So I decide to hold off. Well, in the meantime, I had already transferred my domain to the new company.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh.
now there's no online program out there. And I go back to the old company. Hey, can I switch this back, just for the time being? And they're not helpful at all. It's like,
Mm.
sorry, Charlie, here, read this article or read that article. This is what they've been doing the whole time, right? So I'm like
Oh.
caught in this conundrum and I'm building up stress. I'm
Mm, yeah,
building up
sure.
a reaction.
Yes,
Okay. This is
yes.
what I'm getting to. I'm
Yeah,
getting to
yeah. I know
reaction.
that. I know that. It's
Okay.
coming.
So here, now I'm caught. These people are very nice. It's going to cost me, a good chunk of money to switch and to set it all up. They have, emails and autoresponders and I mean so many different ways, a whole CRM to I mean it's really a great company. And then the old company, they're not helping me. So they're like, you know, sorry, go do whatever. So now would have to pay somebody else just to get back to the old company and get things up and running. Okay, I'm getting a little frustrated with all this. And I sit back and I think about it. I'm like, I'd really like to go with the new company, but I don't know if I can do that right now.
Mm-hmm.
So here's this battle going on in my head.
Yeah.
And I think about it for a couple of days, just allow the wisdom to come in, which is good. Don't react and get crazy, right? I'm like, okay, this has gone on for a week. I've talked to a couple different people on both sides. I need to make a decision. So I make a decision to go with a new company, and we'll just
Mm-hmm.
take it slow. We'll just take it in bites. Um, So I switched to the new company, and it takes quite a bit to get that domain I've had with the old company to switch
Mm-hmm.
to the new company. And we're having to make all these changes, in the domain holder, just a lot of different things going on.
Yeah.
So I finally get it all switched over. I thought, oh, great. Now people, when they go, I mean, because I've put posts out and I've done speaking events where I've shared this link
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for the
natural.
last
Yeah.
4 years, right?
Yeah, yeah.
4 years. I mean, there's thousands of people following this link.
Yeah.
I go to check on the link and
Mm-hmm.
it says, there's some warning saying, hey, this is probably an imposter site. Don't go here, So I'm feeling like, okay, now we made the switch, but Google and Safari and all these different browsers are telling people don't go down this
Yeah.
site because it's probably not
Blacklisting.
real.
Yeah, blacklisting. Yeah.
So I think, okay, just give it a couple days. It'll work out. Today, this morning, I go back there. It still has the warning. No one can access any of my online programs or anything through this link. And I'm like, I finally blowed up. I blew up. I'm like, okay, I've worked so hard on this. It's taken 2 weeks. We finally got it set up, and now everything is like working against me. What is this?
Mm-hmm.
And so my question is, if you do you ever feel like um, you're fighting a battle that will never end?
Yeah.
it
Sure.
just it just kept coming. It's like, okay, I'm trying to work this out. Nope, they won't do what I really would like them to do. Okay, so I'm trying to do this with this, then I go back to the new company, then I'm back to the old. Then it's like, okay, I'm trying to work all this out and it's just not working. And it started to get, I felt like, wow, I'm trying to do something really good for the world. Here's my ego talking away,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
trying to do something really good for the world. It's costing me a lot of money. I'm trying to get this all together. I'm trying to work with these people. It's just not coming together. All right. So you get into this state of It's perfect. The ego loves this. The ego loves this. It's like nothing ever really works out. But actually, it's working perfectly.
Yes. Yes.
It's
The
working
different.
perfectly because not having that site show up with the new company that's not put together, it's not
Mm-hmm.
up there. It's actually perfect. If I would just leave it alone and quit reacting and accept what is and know that it's working perfectly, I dump all this stress. Things start moving in the right direction. So I was getting all reactive and all upset, and it doesn't help anything.
No, you cannot do anything.
And when I accepted that, okay, you know what? It's probably working as it should. The site started working, everything showed up.
You had to realize it. Yes, it's
Yeah,
incredible.
I
The
just when
universe
I
is
totally
incredible.
let go of it,
Yeah.
it's like, and my guides were like, zing. I mean, they were like lighting up my head. It's like, okay, okay, I failed this one. I get it.
Yes, but because there's the divine timing for
Yeah.
everything, and the way of doing, it's not the it's it has to come through the way of being, and the doing for us comes from the mind, from this chatter and the ego, and many times we want to do something, we want to have it because it's the way and it's all the things that we have in our mind that don't show us reality and what is really happening and don't allow us to really look around and see what we have now and discover and uncover really our potential and realizing where we are,
Well, yes. And
and letting go
I
of.
was actually I can make this point one more time. I was actually being protected
Yeah.
by the site not showing up. I mean, when it did show up, I mean, it's got all this um, miscellaneous information on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is not about my company. It's just
Mm.
like a template. Okay.
It's a mismatch.
It's
Okay.
not
Yeah.
set up,
Yeah.
right?
It's
So
not
now
settled.
all of the SEO that's been set up for 4 years on my
Mm-hmm.
Google's going to start doing their what do they call that? They have a search, not search
The
bots.
search engine.
Yeah,
The
but they actually crawl. The
uh,
crawlers are going to start crawling that site, and they're going to pick up all this miscellaneous information. All my SEO is going to change see what I'm saying?
yeah.
They were actually protecting me by the site not coming up
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
until I finish it.
Yes.
Okay? But here's the point I want to make, and this is really important, okay? It was my mind was going down the old path
Mm-hmm.
that I was trained
Mm-hmm.
would keep me safe
Mm-hmm.
when I was a child.
Yeah.
It's okay. I learned to react and withdraw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is what I learned as a child, and it was the same thing, same emotions coming up again, same disappointment, same discouragement. Here we are. I'm not feeling like I'm getting what I want. I'm not, things aren't working out, and it was working perfectly. But
Yes.
my old way of responding showed up. And it's something that once you realize it, and this is very important, once you become aware, here we are going down that same road again, feeling the same way, those same emotions are coming. It's a whole different new experience. So the mind doesn't recognize, oh, you're going down the same place you've been, Mike, since you were, 5 years old. Okay. The mind doesn't recognize that. But so it's up to us to be conscious and aware that, oh, here we are going down this again. But I got so, 2 weeks of trying to get this thing to get together so it would work. And, wow, I'm losing clients. And I mean, the stories that were coming up in my head were like, were crazy. Were not crazy, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying they were all
Yeah.
made up. They were all
Yeah.
made up by the mind. So I get into all this tizzy. I finally explode that, okay, they give me the site. It's the next time I check, oh, it all comes up. But guess what, Mike? Now, when they crawl that site, all of your SEO is going to be changing. So we'll let you have it. Here it is. But now you better get it back on track here, or you're gonna shift everything away from everything you've built for the last 4 years.
Mm.
So it was amazing. So um, what I have some beautiful notes here, and I just want to read through them really quick because
Yes.
I thought they were really important. I started jotting some things down. Okay. Um, yeah. Events of childhood. We have experiences that we don't expect. Okay. And we create miscellaneous fears. We
Mm-hmm.
create this fear in our head, right? Um, and it's not really necessary.
No.
But this is how I was trained. Okay,
Yeah.
this is what I
We
felt when
all.
I was a child. Okay, growing up many times. So it's not going right. Oh, what, I better look at something, and you have a fear of. So you have a fear of what the future holds,
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen, how's this going to work out? Why can't we get this done right? Um, when actually, what do I have here? Okay. The mind begins to anticipate pain. The mind begins to expect pain. Okay. So in the situation like this, my mind goes back to expecting that pain to show up. And there it is.
Mm-hmm.
And since I allowed that in, since I wasn't aware enough to really see it in that moment, this had built up over, like I said, it took about 10 days, but I finally got to the place today where it's like, the pain, I allowed that pain in and I got upset.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, and it started with me, as a child when you're feeling like whatever you're doing is not right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It was
Because you're
it was
taught like
something
that.
I
Yeah.
felt as a child, and it's something the mind made up. Do you think for a moment that my parents thought I wasn't good enough or doing it right or whatever? No, it's what my mind made up and what my mind still likes to see in my world today,
Yeah.
if I allow it. But it's so silly. I just wanted to point that out. This is how we need to be conscious enough and realize, is this really true? What is it that I'm really assuming here, and is it true?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
So, and when you can let things be beautiful, they are.
Mm-hmm. It's the change of perceptions, no?
Right.
Being aware to be able to give it a turn because you're seeing it with your mind and with what it has been used to, and understand you, like you were saying, take a step back, watch it, and then yeah, see it from the other angle, why
Yes.
it's happening, and it's for your well-being and
Yes.
not
The
the
whole
other way
thing was
around.
right. It was working perfectly. But seemingly it was a disaster
Yeah,
in my head.
incredible. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
plus because we want things to happen quickly. We have the fear of what people are saying, what they would be seeing, of losing money, of not having clients, all those things that are pushed in us that
right.
we just 1 second, 1 minute, 10 minutes, 10 days. It's wow.
So the big thing here is, well, I work a lot with three universal fears. I don't know,
Mm-hmm. You
one
didn't
is
mention, so it's good. Yeah.
okay. Um, One is the fear of rejection and abandonment.
Mhm.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
rejected for who you are. All right. The second one is not enoughness. Okay, or
Mhm.
not
Mhm.
being good enough.
Yeah.
So being rejected is big. People will hide away who they really are,
Mhm.
so they're not rejected.
Yeah.
And two, not being good enough. I mean, so many people,
Yeah.
wrestle,
Unworthiness.
struggle with that idea, okay, when actually we're this amazing being that's so incredible and so powerful and so gifted and talented.
Mhm. Mhm.
When we let our own gift shine, when we let that beauty shine, I
Yes.
mean, you're like a magnet, okay? And the third universal fear that I work with is trusting.
Mhm.
So trust in this case for me would be trusting that, you know, uh, in divine timing or in how it is divinely orchestrated. Trusting in my own. This is big in that divine timing and divine trusting in the divine. You are the divine, so
Yeah.
you need to trust in
Mhm.
your own God power, your own divine magnificence to bring perfectly into your life what it is you want.
Yes.
It will all come, but the ego doesn't want to hear any of this. It's like, I want it now. It's got to be this way, right? So it's and this is, oh man, it's so beautiful when I see it. And here I've this far along in this journey, learning all this, and it's like, let's toss him a little bit more. Let's see. I mean, is he ready? Can he do it? Can he make it through this? Does he see the real beauty in this situation?
Mhm.
And I let my ego take over.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I do, and I react and I get upset, and some miscellaneous words come out of my mouth, and I'm like, and then I get another opportunity to go into self-judgment.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, you know better than this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So forgiving the entire situation, realizing the beauty of it, realizing the wisdom in it, and coming back to love and that trust in how perfectly life is working.
Yes.
That's it. That's it. There's your healing.
Yeah.
There's your
It's
healing.
a
I mean, have
gift.
you heard of the three universal fears
Yeah,
before?
well, I didn't hear them as universal fears. I heard them like the beliefs, no, the beliefs of lacking of love. And the second is the unworthiness, no,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and what I heard, and it's that love. It's a belief that we might have developed in the first 2 years of our life. Is this the fear of rejection or the belief of not being loved because of
Yes.
the mother relationship, and
Right.
then the unworthiness is because of the father relationship when you are 3 years old until 4 or something like that. And if your father hasn't been um, like how do you say that, telling you how good you are and other things, you create a belief of or the fear of not being worth enough. That's what I heard.
I had them all. Woo! Yes.
I think everyone has something, those beliefs. It's just to see where and why, and then to know we have them and to live knowing
Yep.
we
Yep.
have them,
Yep.
no? And
And
then
and knowing
understanding when they come up.
absolutely, absolutely, I totally agree. And yes, feeling unloved is part of the rejection
Yeah.
wound. Yes, and yes, it is from the mother, and the father is all about, and look, I grew up with my dad constantly criticizing what I did.
Mm.
I mean, he was my baseball coach. I was doing this, doing that, working on the car, whatever. Oh, you could have done this. You could have done it this way. Why didn't you do this? And it was the whole full range, okay, from
Mhm.
the words to the physical. So I
Mm.
learned
Yeah.
you're just not good enough, Mike. You just don't do it right, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
it was pounded into me, but none of it was true. That's not
Mm-hmm.
what
No, no,
he's really
no.
trying to do. He's trying to show me how to, excel at things,
Yes.
how to be
Yes.
better at things,
Yes.
right? But my
Yes.
mind, again, the ego takes in this erroneous belief.
Yes. Yes.
And yes, the fear of not being loved. I mean, again, your mind can make this up.
Mm-hmm.
Just
That's
the
what I
different
mean.
things that happen, even with the father, if the mother doesn't respond correctly, bingo,
Mm-hmm.
where's my protection? Where's my love?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes. Yes. And
right. So
it's
you
a
you
mind,
feel
yeah.
rejected on all accounts, and it's hard to trust. I mean, in this situation, 10 days
Mm-hmm.
of going back and forth, and I needed to
Mm-hmm.
trust the outcome would be perfect.
Yes. Yes. And it's hard to trust when you are in the first two fears also. When you are or believes you are in it,
Yep.
it's very difficult to trust because you are in it and you cannot see or yeah, you cannot see and trust because you are in it.
I really hope people hear this because
Yes, I
it
hope
goes
so
all
too.
the way back to childhood wounds and trauma and things that have happened. And I want them to know that it is something the mind makes up. I like to use that language. Okay. The mind is making up that blank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because the
Mm-hmm.
mind is it really true? No. The mind is making up that I am never going to get what I want, I'm not enough. I don't do this correctly. I'm unloved. I'm rejected, whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And it's all what the mind decides to make up. Do you think for 1 minute that we're not loved by our parents, that we're not good enough in our parents' eyes? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, yeah, no, and with like you were saying, all
You're
the
talking about
potential.
something that goes really deep with me. So
Yeah.
I have a little bit of emotion coming up. So,
I love
but
that
yes,
you show it.
not for a minute did your parents ever mean that.
No,
No.
no, 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 because it's and plus if you see it now, there's people show their love differently, no?
Yes.
And people show
Yeah.
their support and their empowerment differently. So your father was empowering you, wanting to
Yes.
empower you in his way,
In his
in
eyes, yes.
his ways, in his eyes, in
And
the way he felt it was the correct way. But it's your mind that is taking it in differently.
right. That's it. And you're a child.
Yeah,
You look to your parents for everything. It's like, they're everything to you.
yeah.
I mean, you're a small child. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know anything about life, I mean, it's amazing how simplistic children can speak, and it's filled with so much wisdom.
Yes.
But in that place, when you're forming the unconscious mind, you're forming your personality, your identity, you look to your parents for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, and your mind can make up all kinds of things. And this goes back to the karmic wheel. The more that you step back onto that karmic wheel, and that all comes from the things, the beliefs you hold, the mind believes in certain things, you will keep repeating it. So this is why it's so amazing to learn to be conscious and aware and release that energy. You let that, I mean, you get to finally will arrive at a point where you don't engage the mind anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And,
beautiful.
and and I wonder why. Well, I was going to ask you, I wonder why we have to get to the extreme to be able to to see the light, let's say, see it in a different way. But I am answering myself because today we
Yes.
are unconscious about that. And the more it happens to us, the more the less time it will take for us to realize in which wheel we are running, no?
Yes, 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 yes. Well, it's really amazing. I hope people will hear this. So, but the whole end game here that I started talking about in the beginning is my guides are urging me to talk about the childhood and
Mm-hmm.
the way we take things on and how to heal that. And the wisdom that we have will heal that, especially if you've been through it
Yeah.
and
Oh,
you understand how to release it.
yeah.
Yes, it is a process and it's a different perspective also. I mean, when you realize that your soul chose to come here to learn what you're learning, and you may be repeating it because you didn't learn it last time, but your soul wants to learn this. Okay. So you're evolving, and that's the whole point. So it's not about the pain, it's not about suffering. The
Mm.
only thing that creates pain and suffering is your mind
It's your mind, yeah.
re-engaging in a falsehood, in an idea or a concept that's not true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. It's not about
This is a
that.
beautiful lesson for everyone. And it came up for me, and I thought, okay, let's get vulnerable and
I
share.
love that. I love that. Open-hearted. And plus, because as you want to teach it, as you are going to teach it,
Yes.
you are reliving it to be able to really express it from experience. And so that's so important. And it can happen anytime if you're not aware.
And I think that's very true. And thank you for that. I also want to mention one more item, and that's as you're learning to be aware. I mean, it will take time because I can remember a time when I would just react over and over. I mean, here I am working in a corporation, and somebody, you know, does something, something works out the way it does. You don't get the days off you want. You can't show
Mm-hmm.
up for your family on a holiday, whatever it is. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
someone with more seniority's got that day, can't have it. Okay, so here I am working on a day my family's all celebrating. There are many things over and
Yes.
over. Trigger,
Yes.
trigger, 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 trigger.
Yes. Yes.
And it just kept coming.
Okay.
And I can tell you so many stories of this, right? It was about cars, it was about relationships, it was about the job, it was about, just so many things, right? Money and you name it. All right. When you can finally get to the point where you see it
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you recognize it,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the turning point. And it may still take a while.
Yeah.
So when you're
Okay.
in that space, and I think I've shared this before, we can become alchemizers of the energy.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard of that, I'm sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
can call it uh, alchemy, or I alchemize energy, okay? And the stronger you become, the more energy you can alchemize. But in that moment, when you can identify the emotion that you're really grappling with, or the belief, that causes the emotion, okay, thought, belief, emotion. This is really important. State of mind is what's creating your life. Remember that state of mind, state of mind. It's
Yes.
all three. It's the thought, the belief, and the emotion. It's not just emotion. It's not it. So you have an energy about you that encompasses all three of those, okay? And when you can stop thinking, let the belief go, and be in a beautiful place, wow, your energy starts expanding. It
Yes.
expands beautifully, okay? So to alchemize the energy, when I first started this, I would offer it to the Holy Spirit. I would offer it to the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I would stop in the moment, recognize what I was actually experiencing emotionally, and I would offer these emotions to the Holy Spirit. And there's a way to say this, of course,
Mm-hmm.
that I've learned what I need to know, or I understand what I'm experiencing right here and what the wisdom is. Okay. I release this feeling of grief, sadness, anger, irritation, whatever it is, I release it to the Holy Spirit to be alchemized into unconditional love. So
Mhm.
you start transferring energy, you start releasing that energy that you have. And when you finally get to the place where you won't react, where everything drops at your feet, um, you're what I call, or what I've been told through one of my masters, you've dissolved that energy. You've dissolved it.
Mhm.
It's no
Mhm.
longer
Yeah,
within you.
makes
You
sense.
can really get to a point where you don't have any reactions anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
that's a
hopefully that
beautiful.
helps. But yeah, that helped me to start releasing this. I mean, every time you cry, every time you yell, scream, whatever it is, you're releasing energy, but you're releasing it out to the universe, and you're not really healing
Alchemizing, no?
it. Right.
And yeah,
Right.
releasing the boiling point
Yeah.
inside, but not necessarily taking it out and alchemizing it into
This
something
is a
else.
really beautiful session here, and I appreciate this. Yeah.
No, I appreciate you and your open-heartedness, vulnerability, and being showing as who you are. I love that. I thank you for that.
You're welcome, and everyone's welcome. And of course, hey, have we been getting questions? I wanted to say,
No,
if anyone
hopefully.
has questions about this,
Yeah,
please ask. Yeah.
yeah, yes.
Um,
Please, yes.
uh,
You have an email and you have the comments in our in
okay.
YouTube and in LinkedIn. You can write and ask questions, and anything you would like to know, just write it there so that we can tackle it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, if something's coming up for someone on a regular
Mm-hmm.
basis, and I mean, um, there are many people that I've worked with that just can't forgive.
Mm-hmm.
So they're stuck. I
Yeah,
mean, they're stuck. I mean, if you can't see
yeah, I know
your
that.
situation or your experience as something you are evolving through, what was really the beauty in it for you
Mm-hmm.
and the beauty for them, and how you can shift it, and that you're here to evolve
Yeah.
beyond whatever it is you're learning.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be many things, can be multiple things. Okay,
Yeah.
but you'll be stuck there.
And letting it go and really alchemize it, because at the end this energy is a trauma that you keep inside, and health wise it's affecting you
Well,
somewhere.
and that's really big, especially, I mean, and I know that you touched on another subject that's really important, because I remember my grandfather, my father, myself,
Mm-hmm.
this frustration that comes up, this, more like a reaction that's kind of when I was younger, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like an explosion. The things that
Mm-hmm.
were happening, it's like, why, I'm gonna kick his ass. I'm
Yeah, 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 yeah,
just
yeah.
crazy
Explosion.
thing, right? Right. I mean, but you saw it in your dad. You
Mm-hmm.
saw my
Mm-hmm.
grandfather. I mean, I looked at him like, I mean, I would spend the whole summers with him, and I have a picture of me and my sister. It's like totally amazing. But there I am standing there with my sister. My sister was a lot shorter than me. She's 2 years
Uh-huh.
younger. But we're standing there in my grandfather's yard. And, I mean, he did things that I just watched and learned and listened, but I felt safe there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
felt really safe there. But, they had a garden, they had a chicken coop. This is like, wow, what's all that?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
amazing, right? But he hated his neighbors. He
Mm.
constantly, I mean, he had no friends,
Mm.
and constantly angry, worried about his daughter. And there was my dad and my aunt.
Rant.
So they had
Mm-hmm.
2 kids. But he was so worried about the daughter, and then she got involved with someone, right,
Mm-hmm.
that he didn't like. And oh man, so I saw these horrible reactions, and I can only imagine what generations before had.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, I've had I've had readings from very good, gifted people, and the things that went on in our family in years past, other generations were horrible,
Mhm.
horrible. I mean,
Mhm.
so this stuff continues
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
time. But my point was, when I feel that reaction, when I feel that come up again, it's very strong in the beginning. It's very strong. It's like, your or my, let me put this correct in correct terms. That I meant your ego,
Yeah,
my
mine.
ego. Okay. Many egos, that thought, belief, emotion, perceptions, concepts, that's all your ego. That's all, things you've learned. When it would react like that, oh man, what I really thought was I'm exercising my power and I'm going to get what I want, and it's so damaging to feel that irritation and frustration over and over because you're affecting every cell in your body.
Mhm.
And I saw the reason why I told the story about my grandfather, father. I mean, I knew them. I knew their brothers and sisters. They all had this. And that anger they had, I mean, they all died young,
Mhm.
massive heart attacks.
Mhm.
I mean, it was affecting them on a cellular level, and it
Yeah.
was very damaging.
Yeah.
So another reason why, please reach out to
Be
us if you
aware.
have questions.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yes, I mean, because it's okay to ask for help. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to ask for
Mm-hmm.
help. It really is.
It's very okay to ask for
Yes,
help.
absolutely. I mean, it doesn't mean you're weak. You're
No.
learning that, let's cut this to a shorter time period where you heal, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's actually the other way around. You have courage asking for help.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anytime you're vulnerable and you let yourself speak,
Mm-hmm.
or, wake up to something or ask for help, you're being vulnerable. That's your power.
Yeah.
It's not standing there in rage, okay,
No, no,
trying to
no,
get what
no,
you want.
no.
So, yeah. So,
Well, thank you so much, Michael. Beautiful. Thanks so much for growing me today and everyone else and for being who you are. Thank you so much.
oh, you're so welcome. Absolutely. And I hope everyone enjoys this. And I'd love to hear people's comments on
Yes.
this. I really would. So,
Yes. Thank
oh,
you.
and
Uh-huh.
hey, one
Uh-huh.
week till Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Yes.
Christmas.
And yes, we enjoy family, friends, enjoy yourself, enjoy joy.
Yes, absolutely. Be joy.
Yeah, be
Absolutely.
joy.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
Merry
very much.
Christmas. Bye bye.